Okay, so welcome everyone to Treehouse meeting number 8. So for those who don't know, I'm Adam Wilson. I'll be hosting at least the next few Treehouse meetings in place of our previous and most awesome host, Aaron McDonald. So hopefully he'll be returning to active duty in the near future, Aaron. So I'm kind of doing this somewhat reluctantly, not to say that I don't want to be here, but just because I'm probably going to be really bad at it. So sorry about that. My hosting style is probably going to be quite different. I'm sure I'll fail at all the acceptable formalities and etiquette. So sorry if I forget anyone's name or don't introduce someone correctly. Just consider it my style. I will, however, promise to give my best shot at this and hopefully aim to enlighten and entertain at the same time. So for anyone here that's new to Treeple or attending Treehouse for the first time, so glad to have you here and welcome. And thanks for everyone else for attending as well. So I think the format that I want to try and have here is just be very informal and relaxed. So I'd like to think of it more as just like a round table where everyone can post in the chat, feel free and unmute yourself and just speak whenever relevant. We can all just have a discussion here. There's no sort of formal process. So I've got just like a few loose items that I want to go through today. But they're all focusing around the topic of community for this sort of new meeting, because after all, that's what Treehouse is all about, just the community. So I just want to focus on that today. But before I get into that, I just want to open a poll. So I'm just going to try and launch this poll here. So hopefully that's come up for everyone. So it's an anonymous poll, and I'll look at the results towards the end. But just basically asking how community influenced your decision when you were looking at Treeple CMS originally. And if there's any cultural translation issues there, a smidge means just a very little bit. I don't know if that's an English slang thing or whatever. So I'll leave that poll open, and while you're for anyone coming in later can sort of fill that out, but I'll just start sharing my screen. On the right screen. Okay, so can everyone see the Treehouse website? Is that showing? Okay, so together with my fellow Treehouse founders, so Aaron McDonald, Peter Schmidt, and Catherine Anderson, we decided upon a slight redirection of the Treehouse sort of vision, I guess. So while we still want it to become a huge resource for Treeple-related learning and development, I think in these early stages we want to focus more on all of you guys, the actual community, to build that with a greater sense of ownership and pride and more collaboration. So as well as providing support to anyone who needs it wherever we can. So just reading straight here from our mission statement, I guess. It's simple, support those that support you. So the whole idea is just, if other people are helping out, just try and help in return, not just for each other, but also for the Treeple platform, because obviously everyone here is no doubt investing time and energy in Treeple, whether it's your primary offering or just half your offering or whatever. But if we can support Treeple to grow, then it obviously helps us in turn as well. And just quickly reading this. Together we aim to be a catalyst of success for all those exploring, starting or mastering the Treehouse platform, with a focus on obviously web design, development, digital marketing and just business prosperity. United, we form a strong voice to promote Treehouse CMS throughout the industry, as well as help shape it into the best format it can be, all the while maintaining respect and gratitude for the Treehouse CMS team. So, okay, it kind of sounds a bit airy-fairy at first, but I just really believe that it's the community of projects like this that really help shape its future. So, yeah, I just definitely encourage all of you to become, as enthusiastic and active in the community as possible. And this new site direction is just geared around helping you do that. So with the new focus, it's the main focus is both on the members, so we can see we've got some members already, and the roles. So as you can see, I did open this up to some initial partners for early access and feedback. So thanks to those partners who jumped on board, and I apologise if I left someone out if you felt you should have been included in that first batch. It's just a bit challenging to manage everything with everything else going on. So the common theme we were seeing, or at least I saw other partners who were willing to help with Treehouse, they were asking the question, well, what can I do to help? And were otherwise unsure exactly how to help out. So it was a hard question for other people to answer, or Treehouse to answer, because everything's still in flux and everyone's skill sets are so different. So to help solve that, this is why we introduced the concept of roles. So we'll just click through there. So I'll let you read through sort of the bulk of this in your own time, but basically we've gone ahead and created roles that you can actually be involved with. So they're all sort of laid out there, which you can assign yourself to, whatever role you think you'd like to work in. And even on the off chance that you're a very unique individual with different skill sets to everyone else, you can even propose to create your own role. So create a brand new role and take leadership of that. So the whole idea is just that these definite areas where we think would be the best for people to help in, and you can just jump into that group and start helping. So the idea is that for any role, there'll be sort of one main leader with any number of supporters. So it's not limited to who can join. And the leader is just someone who feels they're able to sort of dedicate some reasonable amount of enthusiasm and time to sort of hold that group together and just manage what goes on there. But this is in no way a job listing. There's no required commitment level or anything like that. We just hope to facilitate the collaboration of like-minded people within your sort of skill set. So it's more just a way to connect everyone together who's working in that sort of area, so everyone knows who's working on what and who to contact if you want to discuss something about that area. And I think also it provides a place to sort of open yourself up and branch out, try new things, and possibly even learn from others who you're collaborating with. And it can also be a way to become more social and be involved in interesting new side projects that you might not have had exposure to. So I know, at least for me, I work long hours from a home office, so I'm by myself most of the time. And I'm quite a sort of an introvert sort of normally, but this whole Treehouse experience that has come about has just really expanded my boundaries. So yeah, I definitely recommend, if you're anything like me, recommend pushing yourself and seeing what you might be able to do in the community. And for everyone else who's just normally fine with social interactions, well, you know, it's a no-brainer. Just jump in, sign up, see what happens. So yeah, I just definitely encourage everyone to take a look at this site and the roles, see what stands out for you. But of course, I understand like this sort of side of it's not for everyone. So the other areas of the site are definitely going to be growing soon as well. So under the resources tab, so we've got 3 main sections we've introduced now. So there's the marketplace. So we've got here a collection of fully functional modules, both free and paid, built by the community to fast-track your development for specific functionality. So obviously this one's a bit up in the air at the moment because we're obviously going to need to wait and see what Treehouse does in regards to, you know, opening up APIs and plugin like add-ons and things like that. So that's probably going to come a little bit later, but definitely a goal for the site. Then we have the code section. So this is snippets of code, tutorials, tips and tricks, and other free resources to help you expand your Treehouse CMS skill set and enhance your client projects. So this is the first section we'll be opening up, and there's already some things in there. We just need to work on the format and layout. But yeah, just community contributed code, just that you can copy and paste and get something up and running pretty quickly. And then we've got this sort of new section called agency. So I wanted this to be business resources and advice to help run your agency, anything from document templates, sales assets, and tools pertaining to Treehouse CMS. So just maybe a way people might want to contribute, like the questionnaires that they use when they're getting new clients, or sales proposals, or maybe even you know, PowerPoints or whatever it might be, that can just help get more sales basically for the Treehouse platform and get help people sell that a bit better. Also there'll be, for these 3 sections, there's corresponding roles. You can join specific roles for marketplace code and agency if you want to contribute or help sort of shape how those areas become. So that's the main focus of the Treehouse website. So it's the members, the roles, and resources. So I think that's pretty much it. And this website's live now, so everyone can go there and check that out. The resources page, I'll probably throw up a few other sort of ad hoc resources, like my reviews that I do for the release notes and other bits and pieces. But so hopefully all that will be opening up soon. So I'll just stop sharing my screen again. Okay. So I'll check the chat in a moment if there's anything posted there, but and I'll review the poll in a little while. But maybe just an opportunity to open up the mic, or if people want to chat, just any comments or that, or questions about the direction of Treehouse or anything like that. Especially any of you newcomers that might not know exactly what's happening. Right, so I'll check the chat in a minute and have a look at that poll. But I wanted to do something a little bit fun, hopefully fun, a little bit creative, experimental. So actually, I might just share my screen again to do this. Okay, so when we're recording these videos and start posting them up on YouTube, I was just thinking that like the thumbnails sort of get a bit monotonous. They don't really describe what the video's about, and they're not very appealing. Although Aaron's done this great template for the thumbnails, they don't sort of explain what that meeting was about or anything. So I had this thought that, well, in the nature of collaboration, we could all collectively design the next or this thumbnail for the video. So just a bit of fun, see how it's a bit of an experiment, see what happens. So I'm going to share a whiteboard. Wait a second, I'm just going to get the link from somewhere. And this will probably crash with everyone joining, but we'll see what happens. I think it'll be interesting. So I've just posted a link in the chat. So hopefully anyone who, like if you're on a desktop, it's probably going to work better, but it does work on tablet and phone. So if you want to jump on this whiteboard and just start doing something creative, I'm sure you're all creative types. And it's probably going to look like dog's breakfast, but it'll be fun and we'll see what happens. And that might be an interesting way to create the thumbnail for the video. So it may fail. Hopefully everyone can join it. But I'll just leave that. And I'll share my screen for those who can't actually access this or you're working on the side. They can still see what's happening there. I'll just have a look at the chat and get that poll, the poll results. So think of the days of Microsoft Paint where you had to, draw crappy pictures in Paint. It'll be something like that. It'll look really bad, but we'll see what happens. Okay, great. We've got someone finally drawing. Like I said, it'll look terrible, but it could be fun. It'll be interesting. I didn't know if this was going to like crash the connection with everyone trying to collaboratively draw. That's it. Beautiful collaboration. It may not be working for everyone. It's as I said, a bit of an experiment. We'll see what happens. Okay, I'll stop sharing that for now, but feel free to keep scribbling there if you want to. So the poll results, are hopefully they're showing for everyone. I think I shared those. So yeah, obviously, so it's probably a little bit biased at the moment because obviously you guys here are obviously more in tune with community. So the results there are probably expected. Yeah, just interesting to see how that shaped people's decisions. But I think it's definitely it can be a big feature to a platform. Like if they make a big deal about the community and show that it's strong, I think that definitely helps other people come in and join the community, but also sign up for the platform. So I think that's definitely, if the community is strong, it's definitely going to help. I guess that's the main point. So yeah, again, this is an open forum. So if anyone has any questions about any of this, or just any questions in general about Treehouse, feel free to grab the mic or put in the chat. So I can see the paint doesn't work for some people. It's a bit slow. Yeah, that's what I thought would happen. Okay, so there is one question from Frog. How everyone's finding the Treehouse response rate with the increased workload created by the anniversary specials. So I assume you're talking about the actual response from the Treehouse team, not the responsiveness of the platform yet. So I haven't actually been dealing with the team that much at the moment. So I don't know what everyone else is seeing there. But yeah, I'd imagine definitely it's put a bit more strain on them. But hopefully it sort of levels out again. It's Aaron saying he hasn't really noticed any downtime from the Treehouse response. In fact, a bit faster, so that's good. Maybe they're favouring you, Aaron. So from Jack, BC samples weekly. Yeah, so I think because of content at the moment, probably thinking of running these meetings every 6 weeks. Was sort of going to be every month, but I don't know. We might just see how that goes. But yeah, I'm thinking every 6 weeks at the moment, and that might correlate too with the releases, because Treehouse are doing 3 weekly releases. So we might be able to talk about the release. They're just releasing one right now, so I've only had a brief look at it, but some pretty good stuff coming in this release, which is rolling out right now. So yeah, just yeah, any questions, just shoot them out. But so yeah, just with this Treehouse reintroduction, the following meetings probably won't be so philosophical, I guess. They'll be more hands-on. Hopefully, I'll try to make them more hands-on and helpful. Actually get in and have a look at some stuff for people. So, and I don't want it just to be about the presentation that might be happening for that meeting. It's also about you guys just asking the community questions, not just for the Treehouse team, but for everyone else, to ask what they're doing, what tools they're using, just have an open discussion. And it can be negative things too. If you're finding there's issues that you're having with the platform or whatever, bring those up as well. It's an independent discussion about Treehouse. So yeah, that's about all I've got for today. I think the Treehouse thumbnail for this meeting is looking great. So we'll see if we I'll put that up. Another question there. Anyone already seen the new release? So I think it's being rolled out to the Australia data center first. I've only been looking at the release notes. I haven't actually tried anything out yet. But two of the two main features are actually features I requested, so I'm pretty happy to see them in there. So the custom column sorting, and I can't even remember what the other one was now. Oh, the API to list files from the file manager. So I think that'll be really cool for making like quick, easy photo galleries. You could just have your client upload a folder of images, and you can use the file API to just pull out all those images with Liquid. So that's one use case that would be pretty cool. So Catherine says, are you finding the BC to Treeple app is working well? So me personally, I haven't actually used it much with the new updates that they've done. I haven't actually focused on any migrations for a little while, but I'll get back into that soon. How's everyone else's experience with that? So Frog saying there's address issues with migrations, the menu's not working properly. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to there, Frog, regarding menus. I guess because of the multi-layout things, it probably could get a little bit tricky, I guess. So Catherine saying, had a few dropouts in the custom modules. Haven't done many migrations yet, Scott says. Yeah, so I think, like for me, the menu structure I felt was fairly similar to how BC did it. At least the version 2 menu structure that BC had. So with the multiple layouts and the 3 nested layouts for the items and sub items. So I think it's probably just an issue with like the liquid tags, maybe just converting those over. You should definitely be able.
Somebody was asking about mega menus. I think it was Andy Mundell. I think the mega menus are based on sort of the code structure of what you're using, like whether it's for your freehand coding or bootstrap coding or foundation coding. It's really dependent on that. So, but mega menus can be a bit tricky, especially because you're kind of having to put the whole content in the LI basically. So it's kind of like using a snippet inside of an LI. So it can be a bit trickier, that's for sure. But I've been successful with I think it was Nuvik menus or Navik menus, Navik, and I think you can get them on Code Canyon, and it's quite good. So
yeah, right, yeah. I think it just depends on the structure of how you're structuring that menu, I guess. Because yeah, I mean you can use all the liquid and modules within the menu layout, so you can pull in all sorts of data in there.
Hey Adam, this Treehouse banner is looking pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, I think it's.
Yeah. I like that it's sunny though. That's really important. It should always be sunny.
That's right.
For the Treehouse meetings.
Apparently, Facebook said it was going to be cloudy for this meeting. So.
Well, it is from Alex in Vancouver. It is raining and cloudy outside, so we know that for a fact. Well, you could start the meetings with a weather report from everywhere, from all the regions, right?
Oh yeah, always wanted to be a weather reporter. Yeah, that'd be great. So Jack's asking if I'm launching my new site, my first, can I do it over the weekend or should I do it during the week when Treeple support is there? Does Treeple need to do something on their end for the site to go live? So mostly not, but I guess you could look at like Treeple's time zone and just to sort of see if they're online at the moment. If you're sort of nervous and wanting to reach out to them. But they're pretty responsive, and I think for the most part you can launch a site without any further help. I know I always contact them for doing like the non-WW redirects and things like that, but I guess that's not super critical for the, for getting it live straight away. But yeah, I don't see any problems there.
I made the experience with like putting live sites that sometimes, because if the process is still the same, I think it's still the same. Like you give the domain name and then you put the TXT records in the domain name system, and then you have to wait for the system to detect the TXT records, and this can take some time sometimes to propagate all over the domain name system. And sometimes I had to wait a bit. Sometimes I had cases when I got like new TXT records to put in my DNS, or like 1 or 2 times. But at the end, it always worked out. It can take some time, Jack. And if you have troubles, you can always try to get Alexei. He's the one who helped me many times. And if it's only to calm me down, that everything, he has an eye on it. And he's really, really responsive. Like sometimes he's not online and I text him and he's online like in a minute or so and helping out immediately. So that's your guy.
Tim, I think we wake him up every time we try to get him. I think he's always sleeping. He just gets a buzz and he wakes up and tries to figure it out right away. I think that's usually the case.
I think so too.
To further what Tim said, what I've been doing for at least like with some of the .ca extensions is, especially if I'm switching name servers from Business Catalyst name servers over to like GoDaddy, so GoDaddy's handling all the records, is I handle that first before actually moving the site over. So if I'm moving mail to Google Mail or whatever, I'll get everything over to the main domain service first, and then do my site switch over after that. Just because if you're doing name server change and going live with a new site, it's kind of like a double sort of wait time. So that's been my experience.
Yeah, I'd agree. That's what I do too. I try and get the DNS sorted well before I actually send the site live. I find that works pretty well. But yeah, like Tim said, the text records, I think usually for me it detects within a minute or so, but sometimes they will update the record, so you have to go back and change it. I thought that was particularly an issue if you're using Cloudflare, because I use Cloudflare now. So I know Alexei said that Cloudflare has some weird things that they have to allow for, but they are working on that. So
I think the worst experience for me has been working with IT companies trying to do this, because you kind of like some IT companies, you have to wait for the ticket to go in, and you're like, can you just give me bloody access so I can do it myself? So because I can do it right away, right? So
yeah, DNS I think is just the worst. I always try and get control of my client's DNS and domain, especially if there's issues like later on down the track. You can just jump in and fix things so quickly, but if you can't, and usually the clients lose their access, they don't even know where they're at anymore, and it can be a nightmare. Don't think there's anything Treehouse can help us with there. So yeah, just some talk about TX records.
Aaron, talking about settings in the Adobe meeting, I think, I hope I got this right, there have been some changes to, I think, SPF Records, or what was it, email or something? I still remember that you were saying like you just put like 25 or so sites live. I can't quite remember. Do I remember that right, that there has been changes in some setups in either domain
so,
or
Adam put a really good tool up on the docs to sort of take somebody's existing SPF record, and then you hit generate, and then it pops out like the proper record. And I just noticed it the other day, and I realized that the extra include in there is different than it was before. I think it was like an A record that was in there before. So I asked Alexi if we need to change this for all our sites, all the SPF records, and he said eventually you will. You can still use the old ones for now, but yeah, we've been I have a running list of my sites that I've been having to change the TXT record or the SPF records but it should still be fine. So thanks a lot for doing that, Adam. That was a huge help, by the way.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't announce that update to the docs yet because Alexi said that the Treehouse were going to, people were going to make an announcement about those changes because, yeah, we will have to update the text records. I'll just share my screen again. So yeah, in the documentation with SPF Records, yeah, I think it's actually simplified it a little bit because there's only really these two includes that are really essential, and that's only if you're using the hosted email. Well, one of them is only for the hosted email, and the other is for the system to be able to send on your domain's behalf. But yeah, the tool, I sort of put together this tool to make it easier because a lot of people were struggling with the syntax there, and it's quite easy to get wrong. So yeah, hopefully that tool will help get that record right for you guys. But yeah, that should be announced soon, hopefully, or whenever they're ready to make those changes. But the new records there are working as well, so you can use them now. Okay, so if there's any last sort of minute questions or anyone wants to grab the mic and say anything, we might look at wrapping this up. So yeah, just thanks everyone for coming live, and yeah, hopefully, as I said, the next meetings will be a bit more hands-on. We'll hopefully be able to look at the new release and just see what's new and dig into a few more things.
Adam, I just want to say thanks so much for taking these meetings on, and I mean, more importantly, sort of redoing it, but the documentation has been fantastic. Thanks. I mean, you're doing that on your own time as a partner that runs his own agency, and that's a huge undertaking. So thank you very much for taking that on. That's a big job, and I know we all appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron. Yeah, I mean, it's very rewarding, and hopefully people are getting a lot out of it. I will definitely be jumping more into it again next week, and yeah, getting a lot more docs up because it still needs a lot of work. But yeah, no, that's good. Thank you. All right, so I'll stop the recording there.